we're going to tackle this idea of a strategic Bitcoin reserve
Right.
and Bitcoin halving cycles.
Yes.
Really fascinating research on this.
Yeah, it's a hot topic right now.
Yeah, I'll bet, especially as we get closer to strategic reserve idea.
For sure. For those who might need a little refresher, let's do the basics first.
The FOMO, fear of missing out.
Huge factor.
So people see the price going up and they're like,
I got to get in on that.
oh, I got to get in on that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a...
And that itself drives the price up further.
Yeah.
It's a self-fulfilling prophecy almost.
It really is like a financial roller coaster.
Absolutely.
Everyone just holding on tight.
Trying to time the market.
Yeah, trying to get the thrills, but avoid those drops.
Right, right.
And now let's throw a
Yeah.
strategic Bitcoin reserve into the mix.
Ooh, yeah.
This is where it gets interesting.
This is the wild card.
We're talking about massive stockpiles held by
Governments, corporations, who knows?
governments. Yeah, corporations, who knows?
Yeah, a lot of people are wondering what this means.
What does it mean for the future of Bitcoin?
Exactly.
That's what we're here to figure out. So let's focus on this idea.
Okay.
Strategic Bitcoin reserve.
All right.
Why would anyone
Yeah, what's the motivation?
want to do this? What's the motivation?
Right.
Why hoard all this?
Digital gold, yeah. Well, there are a few theories out there.
Okay.
Some say it's a hedge against, economic instability.
Right?
Governments, maybe they're thinking about, getting a little more control over the global financial system.
Yeah,
It's a big power play potentially.
definitely.
And then you've got corporations.
Okay.
They might see it as a strategic asset
Right.
to diversify their holdings.
Yeah. Maybe they're, betting on future growth.
Like they're getting in on
Yeah.
the ground floor or something.
They want a piece of the pie.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like a new era of
Digital geopolitics.
digital geopolitics. Bitcoin's like a
chess piece.
key chess piece.
On a global scale.
But like with any tool,
Yeah.
there's benefits and risks, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Two sides to every coin.
For sure.
And that's where it gets really interesting.
This is where things get spicy.
Could a strategic reserve actually amplify the halving cycle?
It could.
Or could it disrupt it?
It could.
I mean, it could really create some,
Unforeseen patterns.
unforeseen patterns, totally new stuff.
Who knows?
Okay, so we've got this halving event.
Yeah.
We know it leads to,
Volatility?
volatility.
Price swings.
And now we've got this new player,
The strategic reserve.
the strategic reserves.
Lurking in the shadows.
How could this strategic reserve impact those halving cycles?
That's the big question.
Is it going to make those price swings even crazier?
Yeah, is it going to exacerbate things?
Or could it smooth things out,
Could it create stability?
make things more stable?
Yeah. It's a fascinating question.
So let's start with the pros and cons of a
Uh-huh.
strategic Bitcoin reserve,
Sounds good.
especially in the context of these
Yeah.
halving events.
Let's analyze those potential impacts.
Okay, so what are the upsides?
All right. Well, one argument is that a large reserve could actually stabilize the market.
Okay,
It could help smooth out
interesting.
those crazy fluctuations we see,
Yeah.
especially around halving events.
So almost like a
shock absorber.
shock absorber. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, just cushioning the impacts
So instead of these,
of those sudden shifts in supply and demand.
these huge swings,
Yeah.
it'd be
More gradual, more predictable.
more gradual, more predictable, like a
With a central bank for Bitcoin.
like a central bank, but instead of printing money, they're
They're strategically buying and selling
just strategically buying and selling.
to smooth things out.
Yeah.
Interesting concept.
And wouldn't that
Yeah.
stability attract
You would think so?
institutional investors?
Yeah, potentially.
The big players who have been kind of hesitant
They've been sitting on the sidelines.
to jump into Bitcoin?
Yeah, they see the volatility and they get spooked.
Too risky.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So this could reduce the risk,
Right.
make it more palatable for them.
Yeah, more in line with traditional financial instruments.
Mm-hmm.
Make them feel more comfortable.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah.
And then there's the legitimacy argument.
Legitimacy, yeah.
Like a strategic reserve
Right.
boosts Bitcoin's cred
It's a stamp of approval.
on the global stage.
Yeah, like, hey, we're taking this seriously.
Not just not just a fringe asset anymore.
Yeah, fringe asset.
This is the real deal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Governments are getting involved.
It's a signal.
Major
that
institution.
Bitcoin's here to stay. And that could lead to
Wider adoption.
wider adoption for sure.
Yeah.
Maybe some,
Regulatory clarity, maybe even integration into
Yeah.
existing financial systems.
yeah, integration into those existing systems.
It's a big possibility.
Okay, so upsides,
Yeah.
stability,
Stability,
legitimacy,
big players coming in.
institutional money.
But
what is-
that is the other side.
The other side, the downsides.
Okay.
What do the critics say?
Yeah.
Well, one of the biggest concerns I see is
Market manipulation.
market manipulation.
Big one.
What if one entity
Yeah.
controls this massive
A single entity.
with a huge stockpile?
They could really,
They can move the market. Yeah, influence the price.
for their own benefit.
Drive it up, drive it down.
Yeah. Scary thought.
It's like
A puppet master. So on the strings,
and that goes against the whole,
the whole ethos of Bitcoin.
yeah, the decentralized nature of Bitcoin.
Decentralization, that's the key.
Yeah, right.
It was designed to be free from this kind of control.
Exactly. And then there's the
Centralization.
centralization worry.
Yeah.
So much Bitcoin
Yeah, concentrated in the hands of a few.
in the hands of a few.
What does that do to the ecosystem?
Yeah.
Big questions.
Unforeseen consequences.
We don't know.
It's a tough one.
It's a delicate balance.
You got to weigh the benefits against the risks.
Absolutely.
But to really understand this,
Yeah.
we've got to look at those
Halving cycles.
halving cycles.
Yeah, those distinct phases.
Yeah.
Let's break those down.
Let's do it.
So, Bitcoin halving cycles, right?
Yeah, let's unpack those.
Like distinct phases almost.
Mhm.
Like phase of, you mentioned that eToro article.
Yeah.
Caleb and Brown had some stuff too about this.
Yeah.
It's like a
A roller coaster.
roller coaster, different energy in each phase.
Okay, I'm strapped in. Let's
All right.
take me through it.
So first you got the accumulation phase.
Okay.
This is like the calm before the storm, right?
Okay.
Prices are low, sentiment's kind of bearish,
Mm.
not much trading volume.
Okay.
But this is where the smart money comes in.
Ah, okay.
The people who really believe in Bitcoin long term.
They're the ones buying the dip
Exactly. They're scooping up those coins
while they're cheap.
while they're cheap, yeah.
Smart.
They see the potential.
They see the future.
They understand these cycles.
Okay, then what?
Then we move into the growth phase.
Okay.
Prices start climbing.
People are starting to catch on.
More investors jump in. They see what's happening. FOMO kicks in, right? Fear of missing out.
Oh, yeah, classic FOMO.
Nobody wants to be left behind.
Like when a band starts getting buzz,
Yeah.
you want to be able to say, I saw them back when.
Exactly. I saw them in that tiny club
Yeah.
before they were huge.
Okay, so the buzz is building.
And then, boom, bubble phase.
Oh.
Things get exciting here.
Or scary.
Or scary. Depends on your risk tolerance.
For sure.
Prices go through the roof.
Like crazy gains.
Sometimes, yeah, almost unbelievable.
Wow.
New all-time highs every other day, it seems.
So much hype.
Euphoria, exuberance,
But that's when it gets dangerous too, right?
a little detached from reality, yeah.
Like people taking out loans to buy Bitcoin.
Sadly, yes, you see those stories.
A little too much Bitcoin cocktail.
Yeah, too much of a good thing can be bad.
That's a good way to put it.
But it shows how much psychology plays a role.
Yeah, fear and greed, right?
Driving market behavior, absolutely.
Okay, so then what happens? The bubble pops.
Inevitably, yeah. We enter the crash phase.
Reality sets in.
Prices plummet, sometimes hard and fast. It's a correction, a reminder that things can't go up forever.
The hangover after the party.
Yeah, that's one way to look at it.
Okay, so we got these 4 phases.
Accumulation, growth, bubble, crash.
And now we want to see how a strategic reserve might,
Could really change things.
change things up.
Let's play it out.
Okay, let's start with the accumulation phase.
All right, prices are low, sentiment's down.
Yeah,
Imagine a big reserve comes in, starts buying.
with a whale.
Yeah, just scooping up tons of Bitcoin.
At a discount.
At a discount, exactly.
So they're basically creating,
They're setting a price floor.
a price floor. They're saying,
We believe in Bitcoin.
this is the bottom.
We're not going to let it crash further.
But couldn't that also mess with the market?
That's the argument against it, right?
Yeah, it's a
Artificial demand.
Yeah, artificial demand.
Distorting natural price discovery.
Interesting.
It's a double-edged sword.
Okay, so accumulation phase, they could
Buy up a lot.
buy up a lot.
Influence things.
What about growth phase?
Now they have a choice.
Okay.
Keep buying, further restrict supply,
And push the price even higher.
or they could start selling.
Interesting.
Take some profits, maybe cool things down a bit.
Trying to control the market.
In a way, yeah.
But think about the psychology of it.
Oh, huge psychological impact.
Other investors see this big reserve selling.
Could trigger a panic.
Yeah, people freak out.
A much bigger correction than usual.
Or the opposite.
Right, they keep buying.
More confidence.
More people pile in.
They have so much power.
A lot of influence, yeah.
Okay, what about,
The bubble phase.
yeah, the bubble. Things are crazy.
This is where it gets really tricky.
Okay.
Markets going wild, prices are through the roof.
Everyone's losing their minds.
If the reserve keeps buying, they could fuel the bubble even more.
Oh, man.
But if they sell, it could pop the bubble.
Like a signal that the party's over.
Everyone rushes for the exits.
A massive crash.
That's a tough call.
They're walking a tightrope.
Trying to find the right balance.
Don't want to interfere too much.
And also want to prevent a disaster.
Okay, then the crash phase.
The painful part.
Yeah.
Prices are falling.
Could the reserve step in then?
They could start buying again.
Stabilize the market?
Provide some support.
Like a safety net?
Yeah, catching those who are falling.
But wouldn't that create a moral hazard?
Interesting point.
Like, if investors know someone's going to bail them out,
They might take bigger risks,
yeah, they'll be more reckless.
knowing there's a cushion.
Like, having your parents always bail you out.
Exactly. It doesn't teach good habits.
So a strategic reserve,
It's complicated.
yeah, very complicated.
It could smooth things out, but it also brings new problems
New challenges.
and intended consequences.
So what's the big takeaway here?
It's not a simple solution,
It's a powerful tool.
and it depends who's using it.
And how they're using it.
Exactly, for good or for ill.
That brings us to
The big question.
the big question, the long-term implications.
For the halving cycle.
And for Bitcoin itself. Now I kind of want to zoom out.
Yeah, the big picture.
Look at the big picture, yeah.
Long-term implications?
Exactly.
This is the million-dollar question.
It is.
And to be honest,
That's the-
uncharted territory here.
Yeah, no, I was going to say this is all pretty new.
We don't have a lot of historical data to go on.
It's like we're trying to predict the weather on
Yeah.
a brand new planet.
Exactly.
We know some stuff about the
Atmospheric science.
atmospheric science, but
The
planets a
cosmos-
little different.
The variables are different. We
Yeah.
don't know how they'll interact.
So we have to use what we know about
Right. We can still apply some principle.
economics,
Economics, yeah.
game theory,
Game theory for sure.
and human behavior.
Human psychology, always a factor.
Always a factor to kind of,
To try and anticipate.
anticipate what could happen.
Make some educated guesses.
So starting with the halving cycle itself,
Okay.
could a strategic reserve
Yeah.
mess with that?
Fundamentally alter it.
Yeah.
It's possible.
I'm thinking, reserves accumulating Bitcoin,
Mm-hmm.
especially during those dips
Yeah.
before the halving.
Right. When prices are typically lower.
Yeah.
Smart move.
Wouldn't that kind of
Mhm.
create artificial demand?
They could, yeah.
Push prices up even higher?
Remember those price surges we talked about
Oh, yeah.
after a halving?
Yeah, those are crazy.
Imagine that, but amplified.
By this huge reserve.
Yeah, with deep pocket.
Just buying.
Sucking up the supply.
So those
Mhm.
cycles wouldn't be so predictable anymore.
They could get even wilder.
And way more volatile.
Driven by a few big players.
Yeah, not the
Not the organic market forces.
the natural forces we're used to.
Right. It's a different game.
But couldn't you also argue that a reserve could actually
Yeah.
make things more stable?
It's possible.
It's like,
Noise canceling headphones.
noise canceling headphones.
Filtering out the unwanted frequencies.
Yeah, smoothing things
A
out.
more pleasant listening experience.
Exactly.
So if they buy and sell strategically,
Mm-hmm.
they could dampen those price swings,
Make it less risky.
more attractive to long-term investors.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So it could go either way.
Volatility or stability.
Depends how it's managed.
But what about the bigger picture?
Yeah, the philosophical side.
Yeah, like Bitcoin's supposed to be decentralized.
Decentralized, trustless.
Right. No central authority.
That's the whole point.
But a strategic reserve.
Kind of goes against that.
It's like,
A bit of a contradiction
yeah, almost like we're going back to
to the old system.
the old system, yeah.
The one Bitcoin was trying to replace.
Exactly. So if one entity
Yeah.
has all this Bitcoin,
Controls a big chunk of the supply.
changes things.
It introduces a new layer of trust.
Yeah. And a potential,
Of manipulation.
yeah, for manipulation for sure.
Mhm.
What if they get hacked?
That's a risk.
Or if they,
Or if they go rogue.
yeah, go rogue, start acting in their own self-interest.
That's a scary thought.
It's a big gamble.
It is.
So this strategic reserve idea,
Not a decision to be taken lightly.
it's a big deal.
Could reshape everything.
Not just the halving cycles.
But the whole Bitcoin ecosystem.
Wow. So for our listeners out there,
Yeah, what does this mean for them?
what should they be thinking about?
Well, first of all,
Yeah.
healthy dose of skepticism.
Don't believe the hype.
Don't buy into the fear-mongering either.
Do your own research.
Exactly. Look at different perspectives.
Form your own opinions.
Don't just follow the crowd.
Be an active participant.
Engage with the ideas.
And remember,
Yeah.
Bitcoin's future is still being written.
It's an evolving story.
No one knows for sure.
How these cycles will play out
Or how a strategic reserve
will impact things.
It's a grand experiment.
And we're all part of it.
We are, whether we like it or not.
So buckle up.
Yeah, and don't lose sight of the big picture.
Right. Bitcoin's more than just an investment.
It's a movement.
It's challenging the way we think about finance.
The future's up for grabs.
And we get to help shape it.
That's exciting.
It is.
So stay curious.
Keep learning.
Keep those thinking caps on.